Nate, welcome back. I got plenty of people in the queue to talk to.
Sure, I appreciate you inviting me. I'm a Christian. I'm not here to prove you wrong. I just want you to prove me wrong.
All right, what do you need proven wrong?
Well, I'm just wondering what your texts say, whatever proof you have against it.
I don't have a
And like I
text.
say, I'm not here to prove you wrong, not here to talk shit or anything. I just wondering what you have for evidence to prove Christianity wrong.
Oh, we could just read the book and see that the book is full of lies.
Okay. Well, present it. I'm listening.
All right, we'll start there. Since we've got a PhD physiologist in the house, we'll do Deuteronomy 22. And we're going to have an interesting lesson.
So let's start. Well, go ahead. That's fine. I'm listening.
We're going to have a lesson about physiology.
Yay!
I'm sorry, I wanted starting in verse 13. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, it says, suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her dislikes her and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her, and now he has made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then the elders of the town shall spread out the cloth before, then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town, and the elders of the town shall take the man and punish him. So he gets punished if he lies about her being a virgin, bleeding on the sheet. If, however, the charge is true, that evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her until she is unalive, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So there's two problems here. I want to discuss the second problem. The second problem, Sarah knows pretty well, which is that the bloody sheet can't be good evidence. Sarah, can you explain to the guests why the bloody sheet's not good evidence of virginity?
Sure thing. So it is not universal that the first time a woman, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here, does the deed.
I can agree with that. She could have been on her period.
Well,
That's not what she said.
so if you are a virgin, the first time you do the deed, sometimes there's blood and sometimes there's not. And it's about 50-50 which way it's going to go. Okay. So the issue is that this law is written assuming that every single virgin bleeds the first time so that you can use that as evidence of her virginity. But it's a terrible test because it's no better than flipping a coin.
And I can agree with that, folks. Being a Christian, I'm not a perfect Christian. I've taken quite a few ladies' virginity, and to be honest, whether side, I mean, y'all can laugh all you want.
No, we're laughing with you. I promise. We're not laughing at you.
No, I mean, let's be real.
Big W for laying the pipe.
Oh, Justin.
And I'm not here to have, a holy shakedown or anything.
I mean, as long as she was having a good time too.
Well, no joke. I mean, but
okay, but do you understand that God is the one uttering these laws, and we would expect that God knows how biology works?
But here's the thing. A lot of people judge the Old Testament versus the New Testament. Ancient people had different moral conduct than modern people did after the New Testament was written.
But this
Isn't it the same God?
This is not morality,
it's
though.
the same God, but after Christ was sent to forgive the sins of the old times, it changed.
But I want to make sure we're staying on topic. We're not talking about the morality of whether or not she's getting stoned, because that's the second problem. We're still on problem number one, which is that the evidence of her being guilty is not good evidence. It's faulty evidence. Innocent women.
It was the evidence of these people, not the evidence of the God.
But God wrote the rule.
Yeah, God made the rule.
Yeah, he wrote the rule, but who is to say that the rule was correct according to man?
Yeah, Iceman, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate the subscription. But
I think humanity
slow down.
cannot.
Nate, slow down for a second.
I'm listening.
Just take a breath. There is a law given by God And God tells the people that if a woman doesn't bleed on her wedding night, then she's to be executed because it means she wasn't a virgin. But we know that that's not how that works, which means God is the one who doesn't
Well, who's to
know.
say she didn't bleed and man didn't see it?
But
You're,
no, the point
Come
is
on now.
that not all women bleed, so the test is a bad
Well, who's to say she didn't bleed and we didn't see it? And let's be honest, folks. I mean,
no, they it's
no. You can
the
bleed
entire
cells,
point.
tiny amounts, and you can't see it.
Nate, that's
Cool.
not the point.
Great. The entire point is that half of the women don't bleed at all physiologically. Like that is what happens. 50% of these women are not going to bleed, period.
Right.
But God wrote a law saying that if you don't bleed, you get to be executed. And that is bad because God should know how the female body works.
And he does. But here's the thing. Let me speak.
Well, hold on, Nate.
Well, I'm listening.
People in the comments are already requesting it, so we'll do it. Put a 1 in the comments if you didn't bleed your first time. Nate, you're going to see a whole lot of 1s flying through the screen. And
well,
you know
that's
what?
fine. Yeah, and I like I said
Tomorrow when the
get-go,
YouTube video posts, there's going to be a lot of 1s in the comment of the YouTube video.
And like I said, that Christians today believe in the New Testament, which does not speak about this.
It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant.
No, and listen, there's
Nate,
things about
Nate, it doesn't matter.
Let me speak.
Nate,
Let me speak.
It doesn't matter. We're not talking about whether or not the New Testament God is better. We're talking about
I'm not saying that.
We're talking about why the God of the Bible doesn't understand female biology.
He created it. I think he understands it.
Well, he clearly
But
doesn't.
Here's the thing. If you'd actually let me actually say something, you're just like every other person on this page.
You mean
the satanic
because
guy,
I won't let you pivot
Muslims, all of them.
Because
you don't listen.
Do you think
You
maybe
just
you're
love
the
to cut
common
people
denominator?
off. You don't listen.
Do you think maybe you're the
You won't
reason?
actually let your people speak.
Well, I let people speak. What I don't let them do is pivot.
I'm not pivoting.
So we're talking about why your God doesn't know that women don't bleed their first time.
He does know.
Oh, then why
he's evil?
Yeah.
The difference is if
So
you actually let
if
me
your
speak
God
it.
if your God knows that 50% of the women executed during this ritual were going to be innocent, then he's just an asshole.
He didn't execute them.
I don't
People
care.
did.
He told them to do it.
People did.
He told them
He
to
told
do it.
them to.
Okay, who's to say they didn't bleed and the husband didn't see it?
It doesn't matter. She's still dead.
Come on now, like women, like be honest with yourself. Women.
Nate, focus up.
Tell me, I mean, you can have a drop.
Nate, focus up. If she actually bled, but nobody saw it, then she is still dead. You're making it worse, not better. You're saying that the test is more faulty than even what we are saying. And also, Shayna, thank you for the 666 on Venmo. Shayna says, Doug, the solid rock we stand. Praise Doug. Hail his Dougliness. Doug is here with us for every live, guys. He is the firm rock that you can fix your foundation on. He is the rock that the builders rejected, the stone that the builders rejected, but we will put him in the cornerstone, I promise. Now, I don't know if I have an emote wall on the Facebook stream. If people send a bunch of Doug emotes over Facebook, it should show up on the screen like raining Dougs. I don't know if it's actually working because I can't see the YouTube stream. So somebody send a bunch of Doug emotes and let me know if they start raining on the Facebook screen. I want to see it. So did I say Facebook? I meant YouTube. Facebook is streaming, but they're not going to. There's no Doug emotes on Facebook. It's only going to be on YouTube. I apologize. All right. Nate, did you figure out how to unmute yourself? You okay there? You still talking? I assume he's still talking.
Oh, no.
I didn't know I was muted. There we go.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Mighty. I'm 34. My birthday was yesterday. I feel like I'm 84 and don't know how to work things. But anyway,
I get it. Okay, so do you understand the problem that we're raising?
Anyways, I mean, you guys believe what you want to. I'm not some person to trying to push my salvation or my beliefs upon anybody. But I think a lot of people understand Christianity and false aspects. A lot of the laws and stuff from the Old Testament have been pushed into today. And as a Christian, I believe that when Christ came, he became the sacrifice so that we don't have to follow all the tedious rules, 600 and some odd rules of yesteryear.
Did Jesus
So
say
no
that?
10 Commandments then, right?
What now?
No 10 Commandments?
Yes, they still stand.
Why is
Oh,
that?
why those?
Why is no? But we're going past the 10 Commandments. We're talking about the 600 and some odd rules.
Are they all laws of Moses?
That's before Moses, if you know.
But they're laws given to Moses, aren't they?
They were before Moses.
No,
I'm not talking
the
about
Ten Commandments were not before Moses. They were written.
I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments.
You said the 10 Commandments. You literally said
yeah,
that.
I believe in those, sure.
Nate,
I'm talking about
well?
Moses, the Pentateuch.
Is Dr. Joe in the house? Because I think this guest might need some therapy. Listen, the 10 Commandments were quite literally given to Moses according to the book. It literally happened.
Sure, and I believe in those. I've never
when
doubted
he was
it.
on the mountain for 40 days. Okay, so
I'm not talking about those.
The 10
I'm
Commandments.
talking about prior to Moses.
Like what? Name one.
Okay, just a moment.
He has no idea what he's talking about. I assume he's going to try to mention the Noahide laws.
I think he's just going to say the other laws because he's not sure that they came before. I mean, he thinks they came before the 10 Commandments, even though they didn't.
Yeah, that's possible. Joyce C says we all need therapy. I agree. After listening to some of these guests, I need some therapy. Holy smokes. I'll tell you what. This is ridiculous. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Person that when somebody actually argues you don't want to listen to them, and that's fine. You don't have to.
You haven't. I'm asking you to present the evidence of your argument.
Which argument?
You were saying that there were laws prior to Moses. Initially, you said they were the 10 Commandments.
Well, anyways, what I was saying originally was...
Initially, you said that they were the 10 Commandments, and now you're pivoting. So what are they if they're not the 10 Commandments? No, you guys
are the one that mentioned the 10 Commandments first.
No, you were.
It wasn't me.
All right, so everyone listening to this, put a 666 in the comments, both on the YouTube video that's going to be posted later and on this one. If you heard Nate say that he believed in the 10 Commandments that were given before Moses.
I didn't say that.
I'm sure you didn't.
You know, they can, but rewind the film.
I can't rewind. We're live. There's no rewinding the film.
What I'm saying is provide proof
of what?
If you really can against Christianity. And that's what the point is.
I can. Want me to start with Jesus?
Be glad to.
All right, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 10, verse 23. And then we're going to go...
Okay, let me pull it up as well.
Matthew 16.
Hold on, let me get a Bible.
He'll pull it up on the screen so you can read it right on the screen. Okay. Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't trust my translation. I'm sure he's going to make sure we're reading it in the good old King James, obviously. That's the authoritative translation, I'm sure.
I don't ever understand the logic of Jesus came to wipe away all the rules, so we don't have to follow the rules. Except the 10 Commandments.
No, Jesus came so we didn't have to follow all the nitty-gritty rules.
Like what?
He never said just the nitty-gritty ones. Keep these ones, but not these ones. What a strange sacrifice.
Yeah, in fact, we'll start.
Sure.
We'll start with Matthew 5, verse 17 through 19, since I assume guest hasn't read that yet, and I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Chapter 5, verse what?
17.
17. Let me turn a page.
Thank you for the hat, Lone Wolf, and thank you, Lone Dro, for the subscription. I appreciate that. All right. It says, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. Ooh, excuse me. I've come not to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass away from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And thank you for the gum, Bertram, and the hat, Lone Wolf. So Jesus said that you need to follow the law. And if you tell other people not to follow the law, that you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
Okay. What's your point?
My point is, according to Jesus, you should follow the laws of Moses.
Okay, the Ten Commandments.
No, the laws of Moses are the first 5 books according to all Jewish history.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that
He's
you
contradicting what you said.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, he's not. He came to bring sacrifice and
I literally just did. What you're suggesting is that you shouldn't have to follow the laws anymore. And Jesus disagrees with you. Jesus says that the laws are in force, and if you tell people not to follow them, you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And thank you.
That's what people who aren't Christian don't understand, that after Jesus came and gave a sacrifice, that we have to follow the main guidelines, the Ten Commandments, and what he says. We don't have to, because, and people don't understand, and I hope you will actually respect me enough to know that in ancient times we had a lot of these laws, these rules and stuff, because it's ancient times. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever you were, and that's actually probably before Muslims, that, so we didn't eat shellfish, we didn't eat pork and all these other things because we had no matter and no way to actually purify them enough so that they would be pure and clean. Of course, people in those days stoned people. They treated them bad. And I hope you'll let me finish.
I'm not going to let you finish because you're telling lies. Nurse, thank you for the money gun. And thank you so much, Emer, for the gifts and all the gums. I really appreciate it. We crushed this gift fast. I'm not going to let you finish. Cranky old, was it? Let me see the rest of this name. I hear it. Cranky old Cubber. Yeah, Cuber. Thank you so much for all the gifts. I appreciate that. Nate, I'm not going to let you tell lies. It doesn't matter what ancient people were doing. The book is purporting to give laws It
does matter what ancient people did because
It doesn't matter. The laws of the book are purportedly from God. So it doesn't matter what they were doing.
It does matter.
Okay. So the laws are from
because
God.
Because people in ancient times did things different
and God
than they
said
did
to follow the laws
each
forever.
1,000 years.
God said to follow the laws forever.
So it doesn't matter what people did in the 1800s with slavery, but it matters what we do today. Fuck yeah, it matters.
God said
we're enslaved in the 1800s, and we do better too.
Nate, focus. Wow. Focus up. Tighten your shit up, okay? The God
I'm just saying that you act like people.
The God of the Bible said
people change.
The God of the Bible said to follow the laws forever, and Jesus said to follow all of the laws as well. Do you understand?
Okay, the law doesn't say to enslave people either.
It says you can, and it does instruct you to make slaves. Want me to show you where?
In the Old Testament, in the New Testament, sure, show me.
It's in the Bible.
I said in the Old Testament.
It is in the Old Testament, I know.
In the New.
Cranky old Cuber, thank you for sending out 5 subbies. I appreciate that.
Once again.
So the New Testament says...
After Christ came and redeemed people.
The New Testament never said that you can't own slaves, and the Old Testament clearly says...
It never said you should either.
It says
and you can mute me just like every other person does. When I
Do you think maybe you're the reason why you get muted?
Keep muting me wrong. You know I'm right. You keep...
Oh, honey.
If you would stop talking long enough, I can show you why you're wrong.
No, you know I'm right. That's why you keep muting me.
No, you're wrong. I keep muting because you don't shut up. I can mute you all day long. It's not hard.
Okay,
so I'm going to show you where God says to make slaves. Exodus.
Okay, that's not the New Testament.
I don't care what testament it is. Your God said to do it. It says, when you buy a Hebrew male slave, he shall serve for 6 years.
And every civilization did that.
I don't care. It says, but in the 7th year, he shall go out a free person without debt. If he comes in single, he shall go out single.
Listen,
if he
comes in
married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons or daughters...
I know this is in Exodus.
And bears some sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters.
And it says you can kill them, you can do what?
And he shall go out alone. But if his slave declares, so on and so forth. So, according to the text, God is telling you, if a male Hebrew comes into your service and you give him a slave as a wife, he goes out without his wife when he's done. The wife and the children that belong to her will be permanent slaves of the owner. God is telling them that they will be permanent slaves of the owners. And this is actually in contradiction to the ancient cultures. If you read the law codes from the other ancient Near Eastern cultures,
Tell me an ancient culture that did.
I'm trying to tell you, if you read
No. Quit fucking me.
if you read the law codes of the other
Tell me
ancient Near Eastern cultures, they literally say that
Tell me one that.
you can leave with your wife. And if you'd stop talking, I would get to
I'm
it.
right.
No, they're law number like 3 or 4 in the Eshnuna law codes. I can bring it up for you.
You know I'm right.
You're wrong. I'll just bring it up for you.
Name one culture in the past that didn't have slavery at that time period.
I never
Please.
said that there were cultures back
One.
then that didn't have
One.
slaves. I'm saying that your God allowed it.
Humans allowed it.
difference here,
Your
Nate?
God
Like,
allowed it.
You folks are just like, it's hilarious. Like you don't understand humanity.
Did your God
Nate.
say to make slaves? Yes or no?
Show me a verse that says.
Did your God
No. Say.
did your God tell them that they can make slaves? Yes or no?
There's a reason you keep muting me.
Because you're obnoxious. I need a yes or no. Did your God tell them that they can have slaves?
You know I'm right.
I'm asking you to answer a yes or no question.
I'm done with y'all. Y'all are hilarious. You're just like
Okay.
every other Satanist or whatever.
Run away if you
Mute
touch children.
people because they actually debate you. and you
Run
can't
away if you touch
pull
children.
back, and that's fine.
That's
fine. I
You could
don't
run away.
care.
Everyone's going to know that you touch children if you run.
No. I'm not running away. I just not going to be muted.
Oh,
I'm not going to be muted.
No, you'll definitely be muted.
I don't give 2 fucks if I'm muted. I keep unmuting. The thing is, you know that every civilization under that time period had slavery. It has nothing to do with God.
I don't care, Nate.
It had to do with people being born.
Nate, you will answer my question or I'll continue to mute you. We're not talking about other civilizations. We're talking about your God. Did your God tell his people that they can own slaves, yes or no? He must have not realized I muted him this time around.
Show me a verse that says that you are to own slaves. That's what I'm getting at.
I can show you that verse, but that's not my question. Before I show you that verse,
No. My question is that.
before I show you that verse, I need you to answer my question. Does your God tell his people that they can own slaves?
And that's why I rebutted with.
It's a yes or no. The rebut needs to be yes or no. Did he say it?
Tell me a verse that says that.
Did he say it, yes or no? If a yes or no doesn't come out of your mouth, I will mute you all night.
You know, it's funny you mute people. Like, you must be really...
No,
like,
I mute you.
No. You must mute people because you don't want to be in the wrong.
No, I mute you
And that's
because
hilarious,
you're
man.
obnoxious
That's
and
cowardice,
you're
you know?
unwilling to answer a simple yes or no question.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
People had slaves.
He said
and they
that-
said how to treat them.
I literally just read you a passage where he tells you to keep somebody as a slave. Want me to read it again? I'll read it again
Sure.
since you weren't listening.
He said that he listen, can I ask you this?
No, you're going to listen. If his master gives him a wife and she bears him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's. She'll go out alone. So
Does he command them to have them, though?
he commands them to continue them to be slaves. They're not allowed to go free. If you give a slave to a free person while he's in service and they bear sons or daughters, God says they don't get to go free. They remain permanent slaves. He's telling them what to do. And the thing that he's telling them to do is to own slaves.
Can you answer my question earlier?
Are you going to answer my question first? Does your God say that you can make slaves?
No, now, no.
We just read it. The answer is yes.
Now? In the New Testament?
I never said the New Testament. I said your God.
No. But you discount.
Nate, I'm not going to let you skip to the New Testament yet. I promise we'll get to the New Testament when you have enough patience to finish what the Old Testament says. I ask you a very easy question. Does your God in the book say that you can own slaves?
No.
So you're gonna
He
lie.
doesn't command you to have them. No, he doesn't.
Well, he just did. It's okay if you're lying. I'll show you the next verse where he says
The
that
New
you can do it.
Testament says nothing about it.
It does. I'll read it to you next. It says, as for your male
Okay.
and female slaves who you may have, it is from the nations
New
around you
Testament.
that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire
Okay, in the
them.
New Testament, what book is that, sir?
I need you to stop yapping and listen to the book. I'm reading the book to you.
I'm asking a
It says
question.
you need to stop. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you who have been born in your land. They
What
may
book
be
is that?
they may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. This is Leviticus 25, verse 44
Which
through
is
46.
not the New Testament.
I don't care. I promised you we're going to talk about the New Testament next. So the Old Testament God says you can own slaves, yes or no?
He doesn't command it.
Does he say you can do it?
Honestly, he doesn't command it.
Does he say you can do it?
Command me,
I'll give you
I'm
one
saying
last
he
try.
doesn't command it.
One last try. Does he
And that's
say
my answer.
Does he say you can do it?
And white culture in that period did not.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
They can't be honest. They're incapable of being honest. You cannot defend the slavery argument without being a dishonest liar.